What's up, everyone? Welcome to Biology Bomber, or welcome back. And this is a new technique that I am using, the screen recorder. Well, because the unit 1.5 and the rest of chapter 1, they are difficult, and I think it is better for you guys to have illustration and images. So we are able to comprehend unit 1.5, 1.6 and 1.7 if I remember correctly, easily. Anyways, that are the units that we'll be learning. If you have a notebook, please take it out and be ready to learn, because it will be a hard unit. Thanks to Cambridge IGCSE Biology Coursebook, I am able to show you these units, and yeah, I bought it. So, anyways, a 1.5 group within the animal and plant kingdoms. If you guys can recall the 5 kingdom that we've learned the last video, so we have animal, plant, fungus, prokaryote, and protoctus. If you do not know what those are, please check the last video, the previous video I mean. This unit will be focusing on animals and plant kingdoms because within those kingdoms, they contain many other groups, such as animal kingdom right here. They include vertebrate and arthropod. Do not panic, we'll learn what those are. To make it easy, biologists classify organisms into smaller groups. You can see the highlights here. Vertebrate. The definition for vertebrate is that animals that have backbones. So just like human, we have the bones in the back. Yeah, literally. Backbone means the bone in the back. And some example of vertebrates are fish, amphibians, reptile, bird, and mammals. This is the animal kingdom. And within this kingdom, there are 5 groups. Fish. Okay, I'm sorry, I have a short-term memory. Okay, amphibian. Oh yes, amphibian. Reptile. Bird. And mammals. Like us. Mammals. Are with us or no us. Fish or fishes, but people usually call it fish. The organism that live in water. Here are some images of fish, shark, and these fish are called masked butterfly fish. The figure of a fish, you do not have to draw it down, but to try to memorize the characteristic features because they will be out on the test. First of all, they have vertebrae. If you recall and look at your notebook, vertebrae are the backbone, which is the bone in the back. They are covered with scaly skin, so the skin of the fish, this part. In my assumption, the backbone will be here. Well, if you guys do eat fish, you guys will notice that fish has a bone around this part, and that is the backbone. They also have gills throughout their life. Gills are used for breathing, so the gill will be Fish do not have nose, so instead of being here like human and mammals, they have the gills to breathe. Next one is they have fins. You can see here that the pectoral fin, the pelvic fin, the ulnar fin, and the caudal fin. Just call it fin. Those fins help them swimming. With the fin, they can push the force out, and it involves in physics. Fins help or support them swimming. And the eggs, it does not show here. The eggs have no shell and are laid in the water. This is fish egg. I think everyone has tried it at least once. You can see here, they do not have shell. and they lay in the water because fish live in the water anyway. The shape of the egg depends on the type of the fish. Some fish, they have these egg, the other have the circular shape of the egg. The next group within the animal kingdom is amphibians. Some examples of amphibians are lizard and frog. This one is not a lizard. This is a salamander, if I say it correctly. And a toad, not a frog. But a frog is also an example of an amphibian. Let's read a description here. Please note down metamorphosis. Yeah, the orange text is the process of changing from a larva with one body form to an adult with a different body form. So a larva is a smaller version of an adult form. Have you guys ever watched the movie named Lava? This one, these are lava. It is accurate at the scientific form of an amphibian. This is an image of an amphibian, particularly a frog. And the frog has a thin and moist skin, which amphibians have characteristic features of amphibians that amphibians always have. They are vertebrate. Every group in the animal kingdom are vertebrate. They are vertebrate with skin, no scale. Contrasts to fish, which has scaly skin. Their eggs have no shell, just like fish too, and they are laid in the water. Remember that this one is similar to fish. I'll show you guys the image of a amphibian eggs. The shape is similar to fish, however, some fish eggs have a longer shape than the circular amphibian egg. And next one, the tadpoles live in water. So the tadpoles are smaller version of amphibian. They live in the water, but the adults live on land. Just like the frog, when they are small, they live in the water. Water. Okay, I do not know how to draw water. And when they become an adult, they live on land. So that's the reason why you see frog on land. And the tadpoles have gills for the gas exchange. So just like fish, they have gills for breathing. But the adult have the lungs, so that's why you do not see any gill on the frog. But if you guys do an experiment, you will see there is a lung inside the frog. The next group is reptile. So some examples of reptiles are crocodile, lizard, snake, turtle, and tortoises. To be honest, I have no idea what tortoises are. English is not my mother tongue language. And the significant appearance that we can see on reptile is that reptile all have scale on their skin. Just like this crocodile, you guys can see some smaller scale on its skin. Unlike amphibians, reptiles do not need to go back to the water. Well, the eggs are visible and they have shell, so this stops them from drying out. Please note these down so that you guys can review it for your test. The image shows that dinosaurs is reptile, but I've heard some agreement said that dinosaur are fish instead. So who knows? Yeah, snake is a reptile and with a characteristic feature that they have scaly skin. For reptile, we have less characteristic features. They are vegetable with scaly skin just like fish, and in opposite of fish and amphibian, they lay eggs with soft shell. So with eggs have shell instead of not having a shell. Next one, bird. Bird evolved from dinosaur. Yes, there are some dinosaurs that are in bird group, and well, some are in fish too. Birds are easy to identify. they have the feather, but some birds have scale too. So let's see about the characteristic feature of it. Yes, according to the image, we can see the distinctive features of a bird are the beak and then the body covered with feather. Please write down the characteristic features of every group. They have feathers, but not all of them. Sometimes they have a few scales. They have the beak to eat food, obviously. Their front two limbs are wings. This is the limb. Well, a limb as we see, but there's another limb on the opposite side. Their front two limbs are wings, so not all birds can fly like ostrich. They cannot fly, even though they have the wings. Red Bull give you wings, so drink Red Bull. No, this is not an advertisement. And they lay eggs with hard shell. Well, we do eat eggs, so we do know that they have the shell, and you have to knock it on the table or on the counter in order to break it. The opposite with reptile, which has a soft shell. The last group in the animal kingdom is mammals, and these are the most familiar vertebrate. Well, because human is in it. Some features of mammal that are shared with bird, they have homeostasis, which is to control the body temperature. You guys will learn about that in chapter 13. And the easiest way to identify a mammal is that the skin has hair like human. We do have hair on our skin. Yes, we do have hair, which is head skin. No, head hair. Head hair skin. And a distinctive feature of mammal is that only mammal have uterus and placenta. And the mammary gland that produce milk. Yes. So for human, we have chest and or we can call breast, and they produce milk like our mom, so that they can feed milk to baby or us when we were young. This is the definition of placenta. This is not necessary for you to memorize, but you can if you want to. For mammals, the characteristic features are a lot, and yes. Oh, mammals. Look at the figure. We can tell that the distinctive features are that pinna of ear and hairs on skin. This is a structure of an ear, and the pinna is the part over there. From the figure, we can tell that they have hair on their skin. Their young develop in a uterus attached to the mother by a placenta. I don't think this is essential for you guys to remember, but note it down just in case. And the females have mammary gland. This is important because you guys have to know where you guys were fit. Recently, the IGCSE test has decided to modernize the test into reality so that you can see the application on the real life. These are real. I mean, everything is real in this book. The kind of teeth. We have incisor, canines, premolar, and molars. I do remember that there are other chapter that discuss about the type of teeth, and the incisor is the front, the canines are the side of our teeth, and the premolar are deep inside, but it's basically like least but not last, and the molars are the last. Next one, they have a pinna on the outside of the body. According to the image, we can see that they have the pinna of ear. Furthermore, you guys can memorize a pinna on the outside of the body. They do produce sweat in order to control body temperature, which we call homeostasis. And then mammals have diaphragm. The definition of diaphragm for human, this is the diaphragm.